Oh boy. Turn this up here. What's going on, everybody? Everybody doing? It's your boy Richie Rich, coming from ones and twos. Let's talk. I'm going to talk a little bit. This script here. Yeah, they're gonna go and get something to eat. What is that? I don't know. Everybody probably driving and working. Hopefully. Uh, I got an email a minute ago from a subscriber, and he was asking me. He was like, "I want to get back into lease purchasing, and what's a good deal to get into?" And he said he was with Prime, but he left, and he's trying to look for another lease purchase to buy a truck. Now, listen, I'll be honest with you guys. You know, the best lease purchasing, I think, personally. I'm trying to think what I want. Chinese or Malaysian? I didn't get that. Oh. Could you try? Man, Siri be eavesdropping. But anyway, like I said, the best lease purchase to get into, honestly, in my opinion, is Prime, because the way the pay structure is. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear that, right? But you don't really want to do a mileage-based lease. Actually, lease, I tried to tell the guy or the girl, I couldn't tell who it was who emailed me. But the truth is, there we go. The truth is, you don't want to, leasing right now is something, if you want to own a truck, I would just find me a good company to work for where I make good money and save all my money up, and then go to a dealership like a Peterbilt or a Kenworth or a Freightliner dealership, not a secondhand dealership. And so they're going to have one monthly payment as opposed to having multiple a week. See, the problem with leasing is you take off of work, that truck payment is still due. No, Prime's, who's that, Indu? Yeah, no, Prime's a good company. And it's not a bad company. My videos were never saying it's a bad company, but it's the pay structure that makes Prime attractive, because they pay 72% of the line haul plus detention plus layover. And a lot of these loads go for, a lot of the produce loads and the meat loads go for $6,000 to $5,000. Where you don't have to work as hard. They're a shitty company how they did me the last fucking go around, where they canceled my contract because I wouldn't go tropping along in the snow. But their pay structure is what you really want, ideally. You don't want to go with a company that pays you by cents per mile. That's bad. If you're going to do lease. But really, my whole idea with leasing is don't. Get with a good company, work as a company driver, save up your money, and actually buy a truck from a dealership. And I'm not talking a secondhand dealership. I'm talking like Peterbilt, Kenworth, or Freightliner. You can actually walk in there with good credit and good financing and actually buy a truck. I think you're better to do that, because then you'll have control of the truck in case you need to leave or move it. See, the only thing with leasing at these companies is you're not really a lease purchaser in the legal term. You're more of a company employee that's contracted to lease and haul their own product of the company, wherever they lease through. And it sucks. Ooh. Hold on, guys. I gotta turn my AC on. Oh. Turn that off. There you go. My bad, y'all. Driving. But the reason I'm making this is because I got a video earlier from a guy. He emailed me, and he was like, what's the best company to get a lease on with? And he said he left Prime. I'm like, man, you should go back to Prime, because that's the best one to do, unfortunately. But if that's not an option, then the second option would be to work a company driver position and build your finances up. Get your credit straight, get your savings straight, and get a business plan as far as putting money away, and then go put a down payment on an actual truck from a dealership. Stop these lease purchasing those, because you can always lease your truck on to a company. The problem with lease purchasing is you're obligated to that company. You can't take the truck with you half the time, and if you do, they make it impossible for you. So, I don't like leasing, and I don't like, I'm going to get more in detail with it later on. I'm going to sit down and really break it down, but leasing is, now I understand some people that's the only option, and a lot of people, like prime drivers, they make good money and they stay, they're comfortable, But if something goes south, 9 times out of 10, they lose that truck. Once they cancel your contract, that truck has to go back. Or you got to put down significant amounts of money to move it to like a carrier that's contracted with Prime. There's only a handful of them, to be honest with you. It's not a lot of them. Yeah, I read that comment. They say Prime's an okay company. This is from NTA Banana Spider. Yeah, listen, my experience with Prime was good until the last little go through I went through. I didn't like how they did me, but the reason they did me like that, because we're in a bad market. Had we been in a good market, I would have never had a problem, because they needed me. But now they don't need me, so they treat me like a fucking slut. I hate to say it, And am I pissed about it? Driving a truck, man, it's okay. I've been doing it for 11 years. I'm starting to get the little burnt out sensation a little bit, where I'm just tired of it. But it's okay. I make good money with Prime. And I hate to say this, right? But Prime's the only company I ever made good money with. Let's see if I turn it. Nah, it's locked. Prime's the only company I ever really made good money with. When I saw $15,000 in a month, $20,000 in a month, Prime's the only company. And I would, if I was you guys, and if you want a recommendation, I would just go to Prime straight. I wouldn't fool with Wilson or BLC or any other affiliate, because the truth is Prime calls all the shots. Prime calls all the shots. Prime is big brother. But I'm making this live because I had an email earlier from a subscriber, and he was asking for some advice, and I'm just giving him my advice. He wanted to know what leasing company to go with, and I'm telling him and everybody else, save your money and go to a dealership to buy a truck, so therefore you can control the truck. Because you can go to a leasing company like Prime and get fired, or just get tired of the bullshit, and then you can just carry your truck to somebody else, and lease on to them. As long as you own the truck, they can't do nothing with you. And not only that, the pay structure is better. Instead of paying every week and all these fixed costs, you just pay one monthly bill. So, plus, if you have your own numbers, then that's a different story too, But, well, Hirschenbach, Roadrunner, I think they all have dry divisions, dry and reefer, because reefer can carry both, dry product and refrigerated product. So all companies kind of have both divisions, you know what I mean? But I don't know, bro. I hope everybody's doing good. It's Friday. I'm home, not in the truck, man. I got a pretty big announcement coming up pretty soon, which I'll get on here and let everybody know. My trucking journey, I guess. But the dry freight market is pretty bad. It's really bad, man. You gotta really burn yourself out to make $1. This last week, I ran about 3,200 miles, and I brought in about $5,200. But man, it was hell to get it though. I got stuck down in Florida, man. There was nothing I could get out of there. I couldn't find a load, not until I got to Georgia. Oh, it was horrible. But anyway, let's see a bunch of Hirschbach dry van trailers. Oh, really? Well, Hirschbach might have got a contract then. That sounded like what that happened. You know, Hirschbach's a growing company. I don't know if they're good or bad or anything. Tell you the truth, I couldn't tell you out here what's a good or bad company anymore because we're in a bad market. I mean, some of your worst mom and pops might be better for you. You know. Well, the biggest thing about trucking that I try to preach to you guys, right? Is, trucking is one of those most, most consistent, inconsistent job I ever had. Every week is different, And if you can find consistency in the company, then you're in a good place, whether it's a mega carrier or a small mom and pop. As long as every week you're able to bring in pretty much the same amount of money that you can plan your life in. The sucky thing about leasing, right, is one week you might bring in like $3,000, but the next 2 weeks it might be $1,000, might be $500. I mean, it's not consistent, and that's what you look for when you're in trucking. What is the most consistent job that you can find out here? And I'm gonna tell you something. It's a rarity. It's rare, especially when you're doing lease purchasing. Oh my God, it's rare. Because then what happens is the company, shifts you on loads, start giving you all this cheap shit to haul, and the next thing you know, you're in the negative or you're not making any money. And then you take off a day or two to get some rejuvenation, and you find yourself in the hole for like $2,000. Listen, consistency is the plan out here, fellas. Yeah, you know what, Claudette, you're right. I was looking for a load just to cover fuel, and it was hard to find that. Florida, I love Florida, right? It's one of my go-to. Since I don't go to California anymore. But man, I couldn't find crap coming out of there. Nothing even to pay for loads. They got those foreigners down there hauling shit for 50 cents a mile. They done lost their fucking mind. I think it should be highway robbery what they do. Let's see here. Down in Florida, you don't make nobody haul loads for 50 cents a mile, and you're making thousands of dollars. I do look like a crackhead. I better not park next to him.